Good day, classmates, and good day, Doc Mel. Today I'm going to talk about my thoughts on new media and the new landscape for development communication. Poverty is the common link across societal problems experienced in the country, but that did not hinder Filipinos from gaining access to new media and becoming exposed to various digital platforms. In fact, Filipinos remain top consumers of online content, where 97.2% watched video content like vlogs, music videos, and tutorials. This can be attributed to the mass ownership of smartphones. With 99% of Filipinos owning one, they can spend 8 hours and 52 minutes online, with 5 hours and 20 minutes on mobile devices alone. And that is according to the Global Digital Report for 2024 of Meltwater and We Are Social. With this, I can see a great potential here for development communication work. Imagine that despite having slow internet connections and expensive mobile data, Filipinos surpass the online content consumption of other countries. That's one of the potentials I'm seeing. Filipinos like viral content. Remember the ice bucket challenge? Many Filipinos follow the trend because their favorite influencers also did it. But they also got involved in the donation drives, stitching content to create more awareness about the disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis or ALS. This is one of the opportunities for borderless collaboration and driving awareness on a particular topic. We have also seen how the pandemic and the shift to the virtual classes also opened the eyes of our nation and our legislators on the drawbacks of poor internet connection in major cities and the lack of internet connection in rural areas. The Philippines already launched free internet initiatives 3 months after the lockdowns, and this gave birth to Project Wi-Fi in 2022. And just this year, President Marcos approved the Department of Information and Communications Technology project called Philippine Digital Infrastructure Project, or PDIP. This will provide over 700 free Wi Fi sites, especially in provinces in Mindanao. The focus areas of these projects would be public schools, state universities and colleges, and rural health units. This means development communication initiatives can soon be promoted and accessed easily by wider segments, especially in the rural areas. Some examples where development communication programs may work are Internet Radio Magazine Program, and online portal to end VOWSI, which is similar to my proposed project in my TMA3. Another example would be a podcast on the alarming rate of teenage pregnancies and how it affects the economy. There can also be short video ads, which will serve as a warning on the rise of STDs, and this can be embedded on dating apps. Other materials, such as videos on safe sex and family planning, can already be played in loop on rural health centers, and that will be recorded. Influencer marketing with youth influencers on mental health counseling can also be promoted in digital platforms such as TikTok and YouTube. We can also add Safe Spaces Act reminders in LEDs, electronic billboards, and warning signs to prevent catcalling, especially in public places. In a study made by World Bank, the study concludes that a 10% point increase in fixed broadband penetration would increase GDP growth by 1.21% in developing economies and 1.38% in developing ones like the Philippines. So, with the wide adoption of smartphones, familiarity with the new media, and the support for free and fast internet connection in the country, we are making strides in making investments in productivity, and communicators like us are challenged to maximize these resources purposively. That's all. Thank you.